Well, it's really fortunate for me to move the tower to a shower December 9th, 2019. And I was still sort of working in one office. And COVID hit. I said, well, that would be a pretty dumb idea. If you want to. I do. So there's one place I've been looking at. Reasonable price. All last time I had a couch.
All right, everyone. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully there were some Mayflowers from the April showers. This is the 187 District Court. We are doing a hybrid today. So we are on Zoom with the persons who are on Zoom, but we're also in person in the courtroom. These are the rules of the 187 District Court, and this applies to people in the courtroom and on Zoom. You are in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do physically in this courtroom, you're not allowed to do on the Zoom screen. To people who are in the courtroom, this is a courtroom. There's to be no talking to inmates. There's to be no shouting out names, none of that. There's to be no eating in the courtroom. To people on Zoom, you're not allowed to eat on Zoom. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To the attorneys on the Zoom screen, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. Think of those breakout rooms as going to a doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office and you think you are on time and they're going to see you right away, they call you to the back at 9 because your appointment is 9. They're just calling you to the back to send you to a smaller room to check your weight and blood pressure. To all of the persons who are on Zoom, attorneys, we had a medical emergency in this courtroom involving someone on Zoom, and we had to Google to find their address. So if you are in your office or wherever you may be and you are by yourself, please chat to me your location in the chat box. And that way, if something were to happen, hopefully it does not, we will know where to send emergency personnel. And to all the attorneys on Zoom, if you could add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence, that would help us move quicker. Matt, I see you added Jose Alvarado. If you could add whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence, that would be great. So to the persons on the Zoom screen, the prosecutors will probably be moving you to a breakout room. So pay attention to your Zoom screen. They have the ability to move you around. To all of the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. You're not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of those things, you will be sent back and we will see you at a later date. And as you know, there are shortages. So that later date may be 60 days, it may be 90 days. We're all adults, so we're going to behave in an adult-like manner and be pleasant. To all the attorneys on Zoom, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that agreement is, you're going to need to put it in the chat box to the prosecutors and to Ms. Ferguson, who will be logging in. Ms. Ferguson will need to know whether or not it is regular probation, deferred adjudication, or if it's for time. If your client is on bond, she'll need your client's email address. So Mr. Stohansky, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there. and Ms. Hayden and Mr. Villarreal and Mr. Garcia. I'm going to leave it up to you to move attorneys to the breakout room if you're ready to confer with them.
Yes,
All
Judge.
right, thank you. All right, to everyone in the courtroom, I'm going to call the docket. To those, when you hear your name, you need to stand up and let me know you're here. If I do not know you are here, that means you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Stephanie Gomez. Stephanie Gomez. Daniel Zamaripa. Daniel Zamaripa. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I didn't roll the R's. Daryl Moore. Daryl Moore. Paul Lubano or Lubano. Thomas Early. Thomas Early. Jimmy Aguirre, I see that you're on Zoom. Marcus Patino Cabrera. Jeffrey Kesey. Thank you. Joe Guerra. Joe Guerra. Araceli Robles. Thank you. Matthew Salazar. Matthew Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Salazar.
Yes, ma'am.
Sharona Williams. Sharona Williams. Carlos Gonzalez. Carlos Gonzalez. Joe Temes. Rudy Martinez. Israel Elizondo. He's in jail. Is he in jail or on bond? All right, thank you. And Jose Ramos, I believe he's in custody.
Jose Ramos is in custody.
Thomas Manning.
Present, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Manning.
Thank you.
John Juarez is in custody. Ernest Teeler. Ernest Teeler. Alexander Williams. Adrian Garcia.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Dennis Trejo. Dennis Trejo. Manuel Rodriguez.
Here, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
Marlon Citron.
Your Honor, he's in the back.
All right,
Well, he
thank you.
should be in the back.
Martin Rodriguez.
And
Thank you. Tristan Rodriguez.
Present.
Thank you. Joseph Contreras.
In custody.
Thank you. All right, and then I have your list on the back, Deputy Laura. Is there anyone whose name was not called?
Yes.
What I can tell the attorneys, if your client is in custody, their name was not called because they're in custody. So is there anyone who's, yes, sir. I'm sorry, what's your name? All right, just one moment. We're going to check in and try to find you, okay? It's 1,000 degrees in here. Brenda, am I the only one who's not on here?
Yeah, it's always.
I'm telling you, this room may disappear. All right, and then Mr. Porter, we're just waiting for Mr. Sanders. My understanding he'll be down shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then Ms. Corley,
Yes, you are.
I don't recognize you since you're not on Zoom.
I know. It's been a long time since I've been here. And I have Mr. Reyes here this morning.
All right, Ralph Reyes.
Judge, to give you a little background too, I'm gonna have to take a little responsibility here. I was not clear. He has multiple cases in other courts, and so he was confused. I did send him a text telling him his other court was reset to June 14th, I think, and he thought that meant that was his next court date period. I should have been more clear that that was for a specific court, so I did want to at least make you aware of that.
All right. When is his misdemeanor cases set?
I believe it's June 14th, Judge.
Can you check to see if it's June 14th?
I looked it up yesterday and I think that was the date.
Because to make it easier for him, I'll put this case on the same date as his misdemeanor cases.
Okay, Judge, thank you. I can tell you that in a second. This is 17.
If you don't have it, the courts would have it in the back for you.
I do, Judge. I just have to look it up real quick here. Misdemeanor. Yes, he is correct, June 17th.
June 17th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what I'll do is if you can have a B page for me, I'll recall the warrant.
Okay.
And what
I
I will
think
do.
they actually haven't issued it yet.
Pardon?
I don't think they've issued it yet. The clerk said he was just about to when I grabbed the file.
Okay, all right, awesome. Well, if you can let them know that we'll set it for June 17th so that there'll be no confusion.
Okay.
But for your June 17th, Mr. Reyes, you need to come upstairs first to this court before you go to misdemeanor court, okay?
Will that be in person and not on Zoom?
No, that will be on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Yes, sure.
And I'm giving you the date of June 17th, but just let Ms. Ferguson know.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Okay. And maybe both be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. All right, Mr. Sanders?
Yes, sir.
The defense has given you the DVD. I handed it back to the defense.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Villarreal, I'm going to move everyone on the Zoom screen to the breakout, I'm sorry, to the waiting room. And if you could bring them out of the waiting room as you need them so that we can continue with this last witness for this trial.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to everyone, I'm putting you in the waiting room. Just wait there patiently. The prosecutors will bring you out as they need you. Ms. Hayden, your screen is on.
Sorry, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Sanders,
Yes, Judge.
we're proceeding on Mr. Curry.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Brenna, are you ready?
Ready.
Court is calling 2020 CR 5704A, State of Texas versus Lamont Curry. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Robert Ford.
And are you Mr. Curry?
Yes, ma'am.
Are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I want to remind everyone so that the microphones can pick up. I know it's hard, Mr. Porter, it was always hard for me, but if you'll remain seated, that makes it easier for Brenna to hear and for the microphone to pick up what's being said. So,
Even during objections,
yes,
I'm wired.
I know.
I'm hardwired on this. So
that happened to me on the civil side when the judge said, please don't stand up because the microphones are not able to pick it up as well. But I don't take it as a sign of disrespect. All right, State, call your next witness.
And Judge, we left off with Officer DeFoy's.
All right, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for your assistance the last time you were here. It's appreciated. Yes, my understanding he's doing okay. All right, please have a seat. You're still under oath. And state, I believe it's your witness.
Yes, Judge. And when we left off at offer of state's exhibits 3 and 4, I'm withdrawing my offer of state's exhibit 3 and just offering state's exhibit 4 in evidence.
Judge,
No problem. I understand.
As far as defense, state's board judge, we're gonna object as to hearsay. Under no, there's no, it's
Hearsay as to your client's statement.
correct, Judge,
All right.
because it's not a statement against interest, so I don't know what theory they're offering there.
Okay. All right. That objection will be overruled. State's exhibit number 4 is admitted.
And so, Officer Avoyas, you mentioned that, I believe you mentioned, did you Mirandaize him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After you Mirandaize him, did you try to get his account of what happened?
Yes, sir.
What did he tell you happened?
It took a while.
Could I have a running objection on this?
Yes.
Thank you.
It took a while for him to actually provide a statement until the very end before we transported Mr. Curry. Eventually, he told me the accounts of what happened, but he put the blame on the Hispanic gentleman that was with him, saying that he was the one that pulled the knife on the staff and that he was just there trying to leave, and the Hispanic gentleman came to his aid.
Okay. Did he ever claim that that he was, I guess, attacked or threatened by anyone?
Yes, he said that he was trying to defend himself against the staff because they were coming after him.
Okay.
And that's when the Hispanic gentleman jumped into his aid.
And who had the knives according to Mr. Curry?
Mr. Curry said that the Hispanic gentleman had a knife.
Did Mr. Curry ever admit to having a knife or using a knife?
No.
Aaron will pass the witness.
All right. Defense.
Thank you. Officer De Hoyos, you'd agree with me, there was no less than at least 6 officers there at the, and let's call it 2 scenes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one where you engaged the 3 individuals, and then at the Hooters restaurant.
Correct.
Okay. So there was numerous officers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to do one. And then there was a lead detective that took over and put this case together, is that right?
No, sir. We don't have any detectives with the San Antonio Park Police. The only other officers besides regular patrol were 2 supervisors that were out there.
So you weren't aware of a Detective Gina Dillon from SAPD putting this case together as a lead detective?
No, sir.
Okay. So you never had any contact with her at all?
No, sir.
Now, I want just to be clear about a couple of things. When you talked to Mr. Curry, as the state just asked, he said, I never had a knife.
Correct.
Now, you engaged 3 individuals up at the top of the river walk, is that correct?
Yes, sir. And
you personally searched Mr. Curry, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Curry did not have any knives on him.
Correct.
Mr. Medellin, who was another part, had knives on him, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. There was nothing ever mentioned about Mr. Curry gave me the knife, he slipped me the knife, nothing. He always took responsibility for those knives.
Correct.
Objection here, sir.
Overrule.
Now, do you have the knives with you?
I personally do not know.
So we don't even know what these knives look like.
We do know from the videos when I took them out from the Hispanic gentleman.
But they're not physically here.
No, sir.
Okay, that's because they're not attributed to Mr. Curry at all.
No, sir.
There was no testing on those knives as to fingerprints or DNA. If Mr. Curry ever handled any of those knives.
Not to my knowledge.
But if I could have 1 second, Judge.
Yes.
Now, states 4, I guess, the court will be able to review to see exactly the conversation that you had with Mr. Curry, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's not edited in any way or fashion.
Number 4 is just the redacted DVD, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, yes, no, that's not edited other than the portion
Okay.
of the conversation.
And so you never personally went and talked to any of the witnesses?
No, that's not correct. I did.
Which one did you talk
I
to?
spoke to the manager of the Hooters.
Did you ever talk to any of the so-called victims?
No, sir. Other officers did.
Oh, that's the question.
All right, state.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
He's excused.
All right, thank you so much for coming back. State, call your next witness.
The state rests.
Defense, any witnesses?
Judge will rest.
State,
State
close. Defense, close.
We close.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Judge, you heard testimony from multiple witnesses who placed the knife in Mr. Curry's hand. You heard from Everly Dominguez, who was the host of that day, who was being harassed by one of Mr. Curry's companions. She testified that Mr. Curry was the only one still in the restaurant. That's when the guys, Brandon and Daniel, came out to escort him out. He pulled out a knife. You also heard testimony from Kimmy Ramirez, as well as the 911 call that she made during the time everything was going on. In the 911 call, you could hear her say that he's the only one left. You can hear Mr. Curry in the background yelling, specifically where she's like, he's about 6'4", and he responded like 6'5". The officers testified that Mr. Curry was much taller than the other ones, and also the witnesses testified to that. He matched the description given by Kimmy in the 911 call. The other 2 individuals were much shorter, neither of them had dreads, one of them was Hispanic. Kimmy testified that Mr. Curry had the knife out, that he had it by his side, and he would raise it up, have it by his side, raise it up. She was crossed on that by Mr. Porter, and that was when State's Exhibit 2 got admitted. That was a consistent statement that Mr. Curry was holding the knife up in a threatening manner to Daniel and Brandon. You also heard from the officers, Officer De Hoyos, who is the one who first contacted the defendant as he was coming up the stairs. He identified him as Lamont J. Curry, and he told you the defendant's version of everything, which isn't consistent with any of the witnesses. Defendant never admits to having a knife. He never puts the knife in his hand, and so for defense where it tried to come some sort of self-defense, it is entirely inconsistent with not only Mr. Curry's own version, but the version of all the witnesses who all say that Brandon and Daniel, the 2 victims, were only there to escort him out. They never threatened him. They never had any weapons. They never did anything to give him the impression that he needed to use self-defense. Additionally, to say whatever that even if he was attempting to use self-defense, it was not lawful or reasonable. You saw for yourself, Daniel Gonzalez, he's 5'6", I believe he testified to 130 pounds, somewhere around there. Mr. Curry is 6'5". I believe in the audio, Kimmy testified that he was around 270 pounds. So self-defense is a valid claim in the situation there. Lastly, we hit all the other elements that happened on July 12th, 2021, that was here within Bear County. Multiple witnesses identified Lamont Curry, proving this case beyond a reasonable doubt. So we're asking him to find guilty.
All right, and just so the record can be clear, the case number I called out was the incorrect case number to begin with. So the case number is 2022 CR 2565. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge.
In defense?
That's correct.
And so the record is clear. This is the case that we're here for today on the bench trial, and both parties are ready. Mr. Porter, argument?
Thank you, Your Honor. this is a different kind of closing because the court got to hear all the evidence. And we started this trial off with a 3-count indictment with Everly Rodriguez under count 1, and Daniel Rene Gonzalez under count 2, and a Brandon Gonzalez under count 3. Before we even started, count 1 was waived and abandoned by the state of Texas. We did hear from some witnesses. Amy was their witness that they wanted to use to prove up beyond a reasonable doubt these counts. Daniel Gonzalez under count 2 took the stand, Judge. That's who is in the indictment himself. And he testified, no, I was never threatened. No, he never made any threats to me. He said, I'm gonna kick you all that, but he was looking at my brother. And then I asked him, that's your assumption? He said, yes. Okay, so the point of what I'm trying to get at, Judge, is the statements to police, what Kimmy Ramirez said she saw, doesn't matter when it comes to who we're actually charging and who these supposed victims are. Daniel Gonzalez basically sat there and said, this didn't happen to him. And then as far as count 3 is concerned, Brandon Gonzalez, we don't have his side of the story. Mr. Curry was denied his right to confront and cross-examine him because he never took the stand. And this is a very, very serious case that has everything to do with beyond a reasonable doubt. We don't even have the knives before the court. The officer just testified. Mr. Curry did not have any knives on him. Therefore, we don't need to bring anything in here. This other co-defendant, which isn't even a co-defendant, had some knives. There was no follow-up on that. No testing on knives as far as Mr. Curry is concerned. Daniel repeatedly said from the stand, hey, it was chaotic, it was noisy, there was Hooters girls in front of us coming and going. I did come out of the kitchen, and even though he made a big deal about how small he was, yes, he finally said, yeah, we came out in a threatening manner toward him. It was his impression that Mr. Curry felt like they were telling him, let's take this outside. There was no threatening. And if the court does believe that Mr. Curry ever displayed a knife, it was at his side when he was exiting the restaurant. To this moment, I'm still not sure whether they were inside, outside. There's a lot of people there. But Daniel himself sat there and said, no, maybe a terroristic threat at best there. We don't know what Brandon Gonzalez would have said, or did, or felt, or saw. There's no idea. And Everly is not here. So for those reasons, Judge, the state has failed to reach their burden of beyond a reasonable doubt. And when the court goes and decides on this case, we're asking the court to consider a terroristic threat and or a deadly conduct charge.
All right, State, you have final argument?
Yes, a brief response. Daniel's testimony was not that they came out in a threatening manner. It was more that they came out, I don't remember the exact words, but as a show of her to appear strong because they were the only man at the location. He never testified that he threatened the defendant or that they did anything threatening to him, just that they came out as a male presence. Additionally, Mr. Porter made a big deal about Daniel's testimony. Case law, and I can provide it to the court, is clear that an assault by threat doesn't require that the victim perceive the threat. The only requisite is that the defendant intended to make the threat and to place the victims in fear of imminent violent injury. And so whether or not Daniel felt threatened doesn't matter. It goes from Curry's perspective, and Kimmy testified that he had the knife out, pointing at both Daniel and Brandon, that Daniel and Brandon were next to each other, and that was who he was threatening. So again, we're asking that you find him guilty on both counts.
And I'm sorry, which case law? And what are you're saying the case law states about threatening?
I can find it for you.
Are you saying it's whether or not the defendant intended it as a threat?
Yes, Judge. I guess first, looking at the code specifically, it says either defendant.
Do you need my code?
Yes.
All right. Keep the 100% up-to-date one is in the back, but I will hand you this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Judge, as far as an assault, which is required for an aggravated assault, it says intentionally knowing threats another with imminent bodily injury. The footnotes 422, and this is the case, I believe it's the state 203 Southwest 3rd 341. Question turns on the meaning of the term threaten as used in the penal code. Does it mean an act that must be perceived by the intended victim? Or must the actor only act with the intent that the victim perceive as threat? In our view, the better position holds that although the question whether the defendant's kind of produced fear in the victim is relevant, the crucial inquiry remains whether the assailant acted in such a manner as would, under the circumstances, pretend an immediate threat of danger to a person of reasonable sensibility. And Judge, there is other case law that I can provide to the court soon after we break if the court wants.
Okay. All right. The court is going to make its ruling. With regards to count 1, the state waived that count. With regards to count 2, the court finds the defendant not guilty. With regards to count 3, the court finds the defendant not guilty. With regards to cause number 2020 CR 57048, what is happening with that case, Mr. Porter?
I believe that's going to be a jury trial.
All right, then Ms. Ferguson will give you a jury trial date.
Thank you. Oh, and Your Honor, it's not pertaining to this case, but it is containing to Mr. Curry. I received a fact from his bond company. There was a surrender of surety.
Yes.
What I would like is the opportunity to contact that bond company to see if they would get back on the bond. I guess it's just simply because he was in jail at the time. When they claim that they can't assure him showing up to court, that's kind of silly to say considering he's in jail and he's going to show up to court. So if I could have the opportunity, I don't know if the court has signed that or not.
Yes, the court has signed that document. But if you speak with the bondsman, but you have to do it quickly, there will be still time for them to ask that his bond be reinstated.
Thank you.
And Ms. Ferguson will give you a new date on the for jury trial for this. That's going to come up rather quickly.
I know, Judge, I'm starting a trial on 144 next Thursday. That's lasting about 8 days, and then I'm scheduled for another trial right after that. I believe I have 3 trials back to back.
All right. If
So
you'll
I'll
take
do my best.
okay. Just one moment. Oh, just have a seat, please. Brenda, do you know if Ms. Ferguson is in the back or not?
I can go see.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. Yes. We need a jury trial date for Mr. Curry. And Mr. Porter said that he has a jury trial upcoming. July 25th.
That'll be fire.
Okay. And have you received all the discovery?
I need to look at that case again, and then I'll get back to the board.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, the jury trial is going to be July 25th. But can you give me an earlier date so we can make sure that they have all the discovery? And that could be sometime in mid-June or.
I can do June 20th.
All right, your discovery date is going to be June 20th. If you have all the discovery, just contact the state and fill out the discovery acknowledgement, and then you won't have to appear for that day.
Thank you.
So June 20th is discovery, July 25th is jury trial. All right, do you need to speak with Mr. Curry?
Yeah, Judge, I can speak to him back here, so the court can resume her Zooms.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
Thank you. All right, who's here for jury trial? Carl Alexander, come on up. And is your client Deputy Laura or the defendants in the back?
We have them downstairs. We don't know how long this is.
Okay, is there any way you can bring them up?
Yeah.
All right.
All of them? All of them?
How many?
We have 9.
All right, let's just bring up for the attorneys who are here. So who is here who has an inmate as a client? All right, if you would check in with Deputy Laura so that she can bring your client up.
My client's not bond.
Okay, your client is on bond. Okay, just give us a moment with you. So everyone else who has a client who's in custody, let Deputy Laura know so they can bring them up.
Samantha, can she on Zoom?
Oh, she's on.
I think
Zoom.
Mr. Cisneros' client too. He's back.
Yes. it'll be here.
And then Deputy Laura, Johnny Cisneros has Citron.
Okay.
Yes. Is your client Jimmy Aguirre? Miguel, is your client Jimmy Aguirre?
No, you're right.
All right, thank you. Matt Stohansky?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Is
Right.
Mr. Alvarado, he's in jail, is he on Zoom?
He is not on Zoom. We will get your client on. Just give us a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Scott McCrum?
Hello, Judge. I have Rudy Martinez. He's on bond, but technically, I don't think we're set till 10, so he's probably not logged on yet.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. But I wouldn't mind conferring with the prosecutor if one's available CTD, Judge.
All right, thank you. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ms. Ferguson, can you see if you can get Ricardo Brianas in here for Mr. Roma?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Carl Alexander, your client is on bond. What is your client's name?
Martin Rodriguez.
All right, just 1 moment. The court coordinator has to shut down her computer and restart it.
Oh, no.
So that could take 5 minutes or it may take 10 minutes, but we're going to be patient.
Excuse you.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Young.
Marcus was disinclined to discuss Miss Samantha Richards' case with me. Is there some other prosecutor I can call?
Sure, just give us a moment, okay? Thank you. Mr. Cisneros?
Yes.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Okay, I think there's.
Is this you, Your Honor?
Yeah, I think there's.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is this you, Your Honor?
Yes, it is, Mr. Cisneros. Okay.
I'm going inside, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Briones, you have Mr. Roma.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is that criminal trial division of family violence?
It's an MTR, Your Honor. I think we had an agreement.
Yes, but is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division.
It's family violence, Judge.
I'm sorry, family violence.
All right, then Mr. Villarreal will send you to a breakout room and just let me know what the agreement is and we'll proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Hi. They're bringing your client up.
Okay, I was looking for the prosecutor, actually,
Ah, so who were you conferring with?
her name, but it's the lady that was sitting here yesterday. It's not It's a criminal trial division issue.
Okay, then Brittany, I tell you what, if you sign back in, I'll send you to a breakout room with the criminal trial division prosecutor.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. McCrum?
I conferred with Joe Ray, judge, and we'd like a reset for him to talk to the complaining witness and then see if we can work something out.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Rudy Martinez. And where is your client, Mr. Martinez?
You're asking me, I assume. He's not logged in yet. I don't think. It was a 10 o'clock setting.
Okay, so we'll wait for him to come, Mr. McCrum.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Will he be let in so that I can see him or?
Yes, as soon as he logs in.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Stohansky?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, what is happening with Mr. Alvarado?
May I talk to you in a breakout room, Your Honor?
All right, just give me a moment. Rudy Martinez? Your client is connecting to audio, Mr. McCrum.
Very good. Thank you.
Rudy Martinez, you need to unmute and show your video.
You started the second row.
And Johnny Cisneros.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, to the prosecutors, Mr. Cisneros would like to speak to one of you regarding his client, Citron. And Mr. Cisneros, I'm going to send you to breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Rudy Martinez, your case is being reset for May 26th.
May 26th. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, you're excused. Mr. McCrum, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dale Hill, who do you have?
May 26th. You have a pen?
I'm sorry, Judge. Daryl Moore.
No problem. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
I'm gonna send you to number 7.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kathy Compton, I'll send you to number 8.
Good morning, Judge. Also, could I request that the clerk's office provide you with a B page? I conferred with Marcus late yesterday, and I think we may have an agreed ask on the bond for her that we'd like to discuss with you as well.
Okay. Where's Miss Cooper?
I may be a little bit early. I wasn't set until 10, so they may not have brought her yet.
All right, thank you.
I'm fine to wait.
Okay. Okay, who's his attorney? Is that the defendant?
No, that's the defendant.
Oh, what is the defendant's name?
Eduardo Munoz. Oh, Eduardo Munoz, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was like, who is that?
Eduardo Munoz, I'm sorry.
No problem. So who is the attorney for Eduardo Munoz? All right, if you can come forward, please. And if you can mute, please. Yes. Sorry, thank you. All right, Nathaniel Navy, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Carlos Gonzalez. It's a CTD case.
All right, Mr. Navy, I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Going to.
All right, Eduardo Garcia,
Yes, I'm here.
who do you have?
Christian Smith, 22 CR 3080,
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Okay.
All right, your case is going to be reset for June 14th. That would be for jury trial. All right, your excuse.
Well, I have Mr. Deary also,
Okay.
Donald Deary.
Just one moment. You can take Mr. Munoz back. right, and who is your other person?
Donald Deary. Are you
Yes.
Mr. Deary? That he's there.
Oh, have you spoken to Mr. Deary?
Well, Judge, I spoke to Marcus. He informed me yesterday that since this is a via case, via transit police, the ones that did it, that they informed him that there were some more dash cam videos that they had of the case. This was one where Mr. Deary was requesting all the videos. We've seen some of them, but he said there's some more that I hadn't gotten yet. That case. So I assume since Mr. Deary wanted all the videos, and I have not seen those, and they haven't been required yet from VIA, that you probably would want to reset on that. But let me ask him just to make sure.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see. Larry Bloomquist, who do you have?
Judge, I have Daniel Zamaripa. He's here in court. If I can confer with Michael Villarreal, I think we may be able to make some good progress today.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mick Aguilera, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have the pleasure of representing Jimmy Aguirre. It's CTD. He has a drug and a gun.
I'll send you to 11.
Thank you, Judge.
Rusty Geyer, who do you have?
Joe Guerra, Your Honor. It's
Family violence.
no criminal, general criminal.
All right, I'll send you to number 12.
Thank you.
Alice Warburton. Alice Warburton going once.
Yes, Judge.
Going twice.
I'm here, Judge. I just couldn't click. I'm here for Israel Elizondo, Judge. I also need to talk to Michael Villarreal.
I'm going to send you number 13. That's a lucky breakout room.
I know. Thank God it's not Friday, though.
Yeah. Jody Sires.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a family violence case for Thomas Early, and I just need to confer.
I will send you to number 14. It's just as lucky.
Okay, good.
All right. Is there any attorney who's on the Zoom and I have not called your name?
Judge, yes. T. Christopher Lewis.
All right. Where are you from, Mr. Lewis?
I am from Dallas.
Okay. Who is your client?
It is Jeffrey Teesey.
How do you spell the last name?
Keeesee.
All right. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Child Division. Michelle Hayden was my ADA.
Oh, that's family violence then.
Oh,
I'm going to send you to number 15.
okay. We'll make it lucky.
Yes. Albert Flores. I can't hear you, Mr. Flores. There's something wrong with your audio. Still no audio. All right, we'll get back to you, Mr. Flores. Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, Judge. I spoke with Mr. Deary. He would like us to see those videos, any dash cams or any other information that they have. So he would ask if we could reset this, get those. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know when Marcus is going to get those, but that's a problem.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I put information in the chat. And if I could have a date, please, for jury trial for Mr. Deary. All right, Mr. Derry, you're coming back for jury trial on May 31st. Whoever you all need to subpoena, you'll need to subpoena. All right, deputies, Mr. Derry can go back.
Judge, one more case.
Yes.
Miss Araceli Robles, it's a first setting. She's in the back of the courtroom.
I'm sorry, what's the name?
Araceli Robles.
What is happening with Ms. Robles?
Well, Judge, it's a first setting. I need to speak to the state.
All right, they're here for confirming. Just give us a moment.
Okay, Judge.
All right.
I'll confer with it.
All right, thank you. All right, people in the courtroom, I'm sorry. Yes, anyone ready in the courtroom to approach? Yes, Leo is like, it's me.
Yeah, man, I'll read this.
Just one moment. Sure. All right, Mr. Manuel Rodriguez, if you can approach. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just one moment. Ms. Ferguson, I sent you a chat. Mr. Villarreal, we're going to be setting Mr. Manuel Rodriguez for jury trial.
Yes, Judge.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be June 7th. They're going to give you a reset form. If you can go to the back, they'll make sure you get a reset form.
After that, Your Honor, we excused?
Yes, and have you received all your discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, please. come forward.
Thomas Manning.
Yes.
Judge, I think we have a little issue. Have two SIT numbers for my client. I don't know which one. One showing the jail was 82 and then 97.
I don't know what to do with that.
I'll get it.
No, just give us a moment, Mr. Manning. Has your client's case been indicted?
Yes, Your Honor. 2021 CR 11393.
Do me a favor, if you go to the back and ask the clerks to give that file to you, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to approach? Yes.
I'm here on Isaac Lopez's custody. In the clock, it's an MTR. I was need to confer with Michelle Hayden.
All right, if your client is in custody and it's
Yes.
for a motion to revoke,
Yes.
are you able to Zoom?
For beer, I guess, with a little help. I usually do it from the office with help.
All right, if you'll go to the back, because they're on Zoom and your client's on Zoom.
So go,
To the back of the office and they'll help you.
okay. All right,
Thank
can
you.
I confer then with Michelle?
Yes, you'll confer by Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Pursuing out of Bristol. And I believe we have an offer from the state we'd like to accept.
Okay, all right. And it is a Roscoe.
Yes.
All right.
Towards here on another case.
Okay, to the prosecutors, attorneys are here on Mr. Orozco, and he'd like to accept the offer.
It's an offer on my case, not on her case.
Okay, it's an offer on
2002, 1299.
on 1299.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. They'll get the paperwork together.
Okay.
Mr. Cox,
Good morning, Judge. Matthew Salazar, 2022 CR 3284. It'll be family violence, Judge. It's first setting, and I'm still working on getting my discovery.
I'll send you to breakout room number 16, Mr. Cox.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Fernando Ramos.
Yes, ma'am. Hector Lara Sanchez, cause number.
Trial division or family violence?
It's a family violence judge. We'd like to confer.
I'll send you to number 17.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Yes. All right, so all the evidence in this case, I show that you stated it's been received. So have you been given that offer by the state?
No, Your Honor, I have not received an offer from the state.
Is this a family violence case or criminal trial division?
It should be criminal trial division, Your Honor. I think I was visiting with Brittany Sparks. I think that one of the problems too, Judge, there was a motion suggesting incompetency.
Okay.
Nobody knew who filed it or whatever. And I think that's why you had us come in this morning.
All right, Mr. Manning, could you approach, please?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to?
Yes.
Thank you.
So attorney, have you had a chance to speak with him? Do you believe there is a competency issue or no?
Your Honor, could I have a couple of minutes? With you?
Yes. Mr. Alexander. Hello.
Still here for Mr. Martin Rodriguez.
And Martin Rodriguez is
Present.
Yes, bring him up. Mr. Rodriguez, you should take your glasses down. All right, my understanding is your client is requesting a jury trial,
Yes, Your Honor.
and he's still requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have all the discovery in this case?
To the best of my knowledge, yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Martin Rodriguez, please, in the chat box? And can you put it on a day when we're presiding? All right, we will see you back on May 9th.
Got it, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Just go to the back so he can get a reset form.
Want me to take it back there?
He can wait here.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else who needs to approach?
Yes, Judge, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm here on Mr. Hamilton's case.
Okay.
Mr. Hamilton.
All right, so Mr. Hamilton, you're still requesting a jury trial?
No, Judge, I believe that we have been able to at least preliminarily negotiate a plea deal in light of the 3 new charges. I reached out to the DA this morning. I think he might be in trial though. And so I reached out to the 3rd chair, Mr. Garcia. I'm just waiting to hear back to confirm that, but my client is interested in entertaining a plea deal and not going to trial on this particular.
All right, thank you.
Do we need to get a reset date?
No, we can do the plea today.
Okay. The plea would include those 3 new charges which haven't been indicted yet. So until I get confirmation from the DA on that plea.
Okay, all right, we'll wait for them to log on and they'll give you confirmation.
Good deal. I might be able to, I emailed them and said I can log into Zoom and do a breakout room if that's easier or more
Yes.
convenient for them.
Yes.
Why don't I do that?
All right, thank you.
Judge, I see that my client has arrived, so if Marcus is not available to confirm, may I please have a breakout room to speak with Ms. Cooper?
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
And a prosecutor will meet you there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
Judge,
Yes.
on Jose Romo, which is the MTR with Mr. Briones, I think we're ready. It's just true and continue, so I don't think any paperwork's needed.
Okay, just one moment.
Thank you, Judge.
So is he pleading true to a specific matter or no?
Yes.
Just one moment, we'll take that up.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Hi, Mr. Cox.
Yes, ma'am. You get a second.
Sure, I'm used to seeing you at the Capitol or at the Supreme Court.
Well, I'm there too, Judge.
Okay. All right, just give me a moment. Let me do this motion to revoke and then I'll take your matter up. And Mr. Villarreal, are we proceeding on both?
Yes, just the same allegations on each one.
Just one moment. Ms. Ferguson has some paperwork for him to sign, and it's the consent to plea by video. So Mr. Briones, on Mr. Romo, he just needs to sign the paperwork to consent to plea by video.
Okay.
So if you'll go back, well, to make it easy for your client, Mr. Romo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. Mr. Briones, I'll send you to 6, and if you can sign the paperwork, and once that's done, we'll complete the matter.
Okay.
Anton Hayek, who do you have?
I have Thomas, Your Honor. Joe Anthony Thomas. Do you need a case number?
Criminal Trial Division of Family Violence.
Criminal Trial Division.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 18. Michael Goins, I'm going to send you to number 19.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Dale Hill.
Judge, can I be put in a room with my client?
All right.
Thank you.
Let me find your client. Is your client Moselle Moore?
His last name is Moore. That may be him.
All right. If you go to breakout room number 7, Mr. Hill, go back there and I'll send your client to number 7.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Johnny Cisneros.
May I approach your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, I don't know if you've received it yet, but they're going to dismiss my client's case.
Okay.
And I'll just wait around until I see the dismissal so that hopefully they'll release him tonight.
All right. If you can check in the back because I've signed that.
Oh, you have? Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much.
Your Honor.
Just 1 moment, please. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Yes,
Okay, I'm Samantha Richards, Your Honor.
yes.
I've discussed it with Marcus Sanders. We've agreed to, on the bond reduction, to a reduction to $25,000 on each of the 2 cases and with full house arrest on GPS. And we have an agreed plea and recommendation on the MTR that's pending today.
All right, well, let's do the plea. And is there, what new cases?
The new cases are 2 aggravated robberies, Your Honor. I have the CM case numbers. I understand they've been indicted just in the last day or 2. This is the printout from Loopy.
And what's the agreement?
The agreement is for a reduction to a $25,000 bond on each case and with full house arrest. And I would ask the court to consider waiving the fee on the GPS because it is still going to be somewhat difficult for them to make the fees.
There you are. And if you could work on the other matter.
And as I said, we've already signed the appellate rights certification and Zoom permission. She is in the jail and is on the
All
Zoom.
right, if you will get that from the clerk because I don't have it.
Oh,
The signed
okay.
documents. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor. They're telling me they haven't received it yet, Your Honor.
All right, I've signed it.
Okay, I'll just go back there and wait.
All right, so I'm going to release your, I'm going to have the deputies take your client back.
Thank you.
All right, deputies, Mr. Citron can go back. Mr. Cisneros, that is Marlon, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cox.
On, Matthew Salazar matter, I conferred with family violence prosecutor.
Yes.
He told me that all the discovery has been uploaded. It's the first setting. I just need opportunity to review it, and he's going to make me an offer.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Matthew Salazar, please? All right, we're going to come back on May 26th.
That's fine. Just saying.
All right, you're excused.
Okay,
We're gonna-
good. On my second one on Taylor from yesterday, he's here, Judge, and I need to go to the 379th, and I also have motions in the capital murder case, which is in Guadalupe County this afternoon at 1. Do I need to have him kind of like say here?
All right, you're set for jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor, are you still requesting your jury trial?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Cox, do you have all the discovery in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Taylor, please? And then next, we're going to take up Romo. We're going to come back on June 6th, I'm sorry, June 7th for jury trial. If you'll go to the back and get a reset form and have your client sign.
Thank you, sir. My
You're welcome. Yes.
Your Honor,
Just one moment.
I'm just checking to see if my mic's working.
Yes, it is. All right, are the parties ready on Romo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ready, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, the court is calling 2016 CR 5254 and 2019 CR 11433W, State of Texas versus Jose Romo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Ricardo Briones for Jose Romo.
And are you Mr. Romo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video due to the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Romo, on each of these cause numbers, did you sign documents entitled defendant's consent to appear by video? Did you review it with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court, in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Romo, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2016 CR 5254, are you the same Jose Romo who was placed on deferred adjudication for the offense of sexual assault on January 30, 2017 for a period of 5 years and extended for 1 year? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you the same Jose Romo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 11433W for the offense of violation of sex offender registration annual and placed on deferred adjudication on November 21st, 2019 for a period of 4 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the same allegations in each motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, any objection to the state reading the allegation and your client's answer being an answer for both motions?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 7th day of December 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jose Romo, did then and there test positive for cocaine in violation of condition number 2.
And each of the cause numbers, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
And the state would waive and abandon the remaining allegations in each cause.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Romo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2 in 2016 CR 5254, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2 in cause number 2019 CR 11433W, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2 in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreed recommendation is to deny the state's motions and alter and amend conditions of probation to include a new TAP evaluation and follow the recommendations.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Roma, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
Then each of the cause numbers, the court is finding, as previously stated, violation of condition number 2 true. The court is going to order a TAP evaluation. That evaluation is to take place while Mr. Romo is in custody, and you're to follow all recommendations from the TAP evaluation. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further from the state.
Your Honor, I would like to argue for him to do the TAP evaluation while he gets out of custody. Primarily, he's been incarcerated about a month. He, every day that he's in there is a day that he's not working and a day that he can lose his apartment. So he does want to get out as soon as possible and doesn't want to be withheld, waiting for a TAP evaluation. I don't know what the, how soon he can get one, but that's just our argument, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be denied. Mr. Romo, here's the issue we have. You're on probation for 2 offenses where you could potentially spend 20 years in prison on one and 10 years in prison on the other. And knowing that, if you violate, you could receive 20 years or 10 years, you continue to use. And I'm looking at your previous violations in this court, and your previous violation on December 7th was a violation of condition number 2 and 14B, which tells me that you continue to use. And what I gave you in exchange for your plea of true that was agreed to by the state, I denied it. And I ordered that you were to do the UA hotline and you were to re-engage in treatment and have intensive outpatient treatment. Obviously that didn't work for you because you continue to use cocaine. Why you're using cocaine, where you go to get your cocaine, I do not know. And I even ordered the drug patch for you, and that did not work. So what I know from my experience in treatment courts and from everything that I've read, usually when people are released from custody, the immediate thing they do when they have not received treatment is they want to go find a drug. You end up meeting up with friends and they say, hey, let's go party. And you say, I really shouldn't be doing this. And they say, well, we can do some cocaine together. And what ends up happening? You have another positive UA. So you're going to remain in custody until that TAP evaluation is done. And if that TAP evaluation requests inpatient treatment, then you're going to inpatient treatment. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to send you to a breakout room, Mr. Romo. Probation will go over conditions with you.
Okay.
So, Mr. Romo, I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And probation will meet you there. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Thomas Manning.
Mhm.
We visited, we're gonna go ahead and, he wants to go ahead and do the, evaluation for incompetency, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I said I did not want to.
Did not want to.
All right, so here's the thing, Mr. Manning. Once, Mr. Manning, yes, come forward and let me explain something to you. Mr. Manning,
Yes,
I don't know how the request for an evaluation was requested for
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
We've tried to discover that, so we don't know who requested it.
Yes, ma'am.
But once an evaluation is requested, it must be followed through with.
Okay.
Now, they may come back and say that there are no issues and you can move forward in the legal process.
Yes, ma'am.
But I cannot have you go forward in the legal process unless I'm certain that you understand the consequences of your actions as far as they go legal. You understand?
I totally do, and I could address them right now if you'd like.
Well, no, because
Okay.
it has to be a doctor to do it.
Okay, for the psych evaluation, I understand
Yes.
that. As far as the competency evaluation,
No, that's what it will be for.
that is for competence.
Yes.
Okay,
And it's just to see whether or not you're able to understand everything,
yes, ma'am.
to have a rational and factual understanding of the charges against you. So we're going to try to get that done as quickly as possible for you. But because you're on bond, make sure that your attorney has all of your information so that they can contact you when a doctor is available to interview you. Okay?
My mother's coming down from North Carolina to help with that, so I have somebody to move around on the outside and get things done for me. Because being on 24-hour, I can't go to work. It's real hard to get doctor's appointments. I requested a chance yesterday to go by Bear County Justice Center and retrieve my prescriptions so I could take them over to Green Hospital and have them filled. It was never addressed in any of the emails.
All right. So here's the thing, Mr. You're on full house arrest.
Yes, ma'am. 24 hours.
All right. What I will do, since he does have doctor's appointments, because here's
I
the
don't
thing.
have a doctor at the moment. These
Well,
are from the doctors that were.
I know, I understand.
Yes,
So, listen, all right? So, I don't know your circumstances of what's going on in your life because I don't live with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not allowed to call me because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
supposed to be objective.
Yes, ma'am.
So now that you're telling me that you have prescriptions that you need to obtain, then what I will do is I will allow you, and I will add to the orders that he's allowed. He's on full GPS, but he is allowed to go to any doctor's appointments and obtain medication. But here's the thing, Mr. Manning, if you veer off course and decide to stop in other places when you're only supposed to be going to the doctor's office or getting your medications, GPS is going to pick up that. They're going to know it because they're able to track you and see what streets you're going on and where you're going. And I'm going to get a report that's a violation report. Then you're going to be back here and then I'm going to have to make a decision on whether or not to have you in custody or out. You understand?
I understand, ma'am, and that's the whole reason that I want this competency done as soon as possible, is because I am set up to fail. What if there is a detour? Then they're gonna say, oh, well, look, he veered off course. What if there's
Well,
a
Mr.
delay in
Manning,
the
Mr.
GPS?
Manning, here's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
thing. Everyone can tell you that when there is a pretrial service violation, before I issue the warrant, there are a few exceptions why I issue the warrant, but before I issue a warrant, I have you set in court so I can figure out what's going on.
I appreciate that. May I address the employment issue?
No, you're gonna have to address that at another time.
Yes, ma'am.
And your attorney will have to confer with the state on that, okay?
Okay.
Because here's the thing, I only know what you're charged with. I don't know any facts of your case. I haven't been given any facts of your case.
Okay.
So I cannot just on my own, at least I don't just on my own say, oh, you can go here, you can go there. It can be tracking only. There needs to be some input from the state and your attorney can confer with them on that.
Okay, I've requested my attorney to do this before in written letter, and this is the first
Here's
chance.
the thing, let's start where we are now. It's
Yes, ma'am.
Wednesday. We're going to be nice to each other on Wednesday,
Yes, ma'am.
hopefully every day.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you're before me now, and you've told me you need to get your medications and you need to go to doctor's appointments.
Yes,
So I'm going to put in my order that you can go get your medications and attend to all doctor's appointments, okay? Could you please ask the clerks to bring me a B page?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, yes, if you could go get that for me, yes. And Ms. Ferguson, can I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
new, yes,
Sorry, thank you.
could I have a new court date for Mr. Manning? Do you know when his appointment is with the doctor? Thank you. I know everyone is waiting on the screen. Just give me a moment to handle this matter and I will take up your matter. All right, thank you. Thank you. Yes. he does. All right, so we want to make the appointment. Okay, June 6th. Okay. All right, so this is the order. Just make sure you give it to the clerks in the back. Mr. Manning, your new court date is going to be June 6th. It's not going to show up in the system because if we put it in the system, then that'll mess up your appointments with the doctor who's supposed to be seeing you.
Can I get another one of these slips like I got yesterday?
Yes.
Thank you.
So if you can go to the back, get him a reset form for June 6th, but just know it's not going to be in the system. And the doctor should be contacting him in probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if you can, with Ms. Ferguson, if you can make sure that she has your client's contact information and you have it, so the doctor will have it. And here's the document.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you.
All right, who are the parties on Samantha Richards?
John Young for Ms. Richards, Your Honor. Marcus Sanders was the prosecutor I conferred with.
Okay.
And that is Ms. Richards, listed as Samantha.
Okay, let me see if we have a prosecutor available. All right, just give us a moment. I'm gonna see if we can get a prosecutor available. So just give me a second, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Yes.
I have two very simple things here, Your Honor.
Are they
They're
really simple?
motions to waive GPS fees.
Oh, that is simple.
Michael Villarreal said he does not object to either one
I
of
know,
those
I-
701s.
Here's the thing, whenever you have a motion to waive GPS fees, just let me know. I
Okay,
usually sign those.
perfect. You still doing trial docket today?
Yes.
Is that the jury outside?
No.
No.
We've
Oh, that's
already done
290.
Jury selection.
That's 290. Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Jody Sars?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Thomas Early. I did confer. Today is our first setting after indictment, and the state is obtaining a few additional discovery items for us. So if we could get a reset.
All right, what discovery items are outstanding?
So there's body worn camera from an incident that occurred about 2 weeks before, or sometime before this alleged incident that involved the same defendant and complaining witness, and the state hasn't tendered those. So we're waiting for that because we believe it's relevant to what happens in this instance.
All right, has the state been able to tender an offer or no?
They have not tendered an offer yet because they're still reviewing the evidence.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Thomas Early, please? All right, we'll come back on May 26th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
May we
Sheriff?
be, may we be excused for today?
Yes. Dale Hill?
Hello, Judge. I have Daryl Moore. I've conferred with the state. I do have an offer. My client would ask that this be reset for a month, Judge. He would like to discuss this with his family. He takes care of his elderly grandmother, and so he would like to discuss with the family situation. So if we could just have this reset for, this is our first setting, Judge.
All right, let me see if I can get your client out of the breakout room.
Thank you. He was in
So
7.
all defendants, when you leave a breakout room, you need to bring your client out of the breakout room.
I thought I might be going back, but
All right, so on Mr. Moore, you received an offer.
yes, I have.
Have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Darryl Moore, can I have a 30-day reset? And that's your plea deadline date, Mr. Moore. So you need to make up a decision on whether or not you want to accept the state's offer or not. Come back on May 26th. You're excused, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Moore, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Albert Flores?
Morning, Judge. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry about that technical issue. This is a family violence case on Marcos Patino Cabrera, and he's present with me. I wonder if I could get in a room with family violence.
Okay. I will send you to breakout room number 5. Jennifer Zorka?
Good morning, Judge. I am hoping to confer with Michael Villarreal.
All right, what is your client's name?
Diamond Danzy.
Okay. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else ready? And Mr. Young, I'm waiting for a prosecutor for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Would probably be best if we had Marcus because he's the one I negotiated with.
Okay. Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Could I have a breakout room with my client, Judge? I think we may be able to work this case out today. I hope. I just have to confer with my client.
Okay. I'll send your client to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, if you go to number 2, please.
And Judge, I had a computer issue. I was in breakout room 15.
All right, what is your client's name?
Kesey.
All right, I'm going to move you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Cornelius Cox. Okay. Oh, that's you, Mr. Young.
I'm back from the breakout room whenever it's ready to take announcements.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So last time we were here, we were waiting on discovery. They had to be subpoenaed. One bit of some of the records we were waiting on are being copied right now. They came in like 2 days ago, so that's great. They're going to leave them at the window for me on the 4th floor. And then other records have been prepared by that Clarity Clinic, but their custodian of records went on vacation for a while. They say she's coming back. And so Michelle thinks in about 10 days, those will be at the 5th floor for me as well. So if we could have 30 days, I think like all the discovery that we have been waiting for is in the pipe and should be here within about 2 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Israel Elizondo. Can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we'll come back on May 26th.
Okay, let me check real quick. Make sure I'm not out of county or anything. Okay, yeah, no, I'll be in county, in Bear County on Zoom that day, so that'll work just fine. I'll see you all on the 26th. Mr. Elizondo, you're excused, and I'm gonna call you right now to explain what happened today, okay?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a nice day. I like your new hair, Judge. You lightened it up for the summer?
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. It looks good. Bye, everyone.
One of their natural highlights. Yes.
You asked the state to send the plea paperwork on my client's case.
Yes.
Both my client and I are in the courtroom. Could you make sure the state sends that paperwork to the courtroom and not to me, not to my email?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll make sure that happens. And your client's name again, please?
Angel Augusto. This case number is 1229.
Okay, we'll take care of it.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Eduardo Garcia?
Judge, I extended an offer to my client that was offered, and we just need a little bit more time to mull it over. So I'd like to just reset it for that purpose.
All right, so I'm trying to get your client to come back to the main room.
Okay, Judge.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you have all the discovery in this case?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Smith, how much time do you want to mull over the state's offer?
Yeah, at least 30 days.
How old are you?
25. That'd be 26.
I'm sorry, what?
25.
Did you say 25 or 45?
25.
25, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna call this back in 30 days, and that will be your plea deadline date. So that will give you time to, whomever you want to speak to, or whomever your attorney wants you to speak to, you need to let me know on the date that I'm about to give you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Christian Smith? All right, we're gonna come back on May 26th. That will be your
Okay.
plea deadline date.
All right, Your Honor, I will visit with him before that date, as per your instructions, and we'll make my announcement on that date.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Both excused. Ms.
Okay.
Ferguson Smith, 17C can go back. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. Brenda, do you see Deary on the docket? Oh, I just found it. All right, the next one I'm looking for is Matthew Salazar. All right, thank you. So my vision is not as bad as I think.
Oh, I
it
already
is.
crossed it out. Okay.
All right, the next one I need is Taylor.
Taylor's gonna be on the recall.
Okay. All right, and then Moore. All right, thank you. And the other one is Elizondo. All right, thank you.
Judge Boyd?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm here in Del Rio and I thought I had lost my internet connection and I left the breakout room just to come back to find out if I still had connection.
Yes. I actually moved you up to number 7.
Okay, thank you. I'm ready to go back.
All right, thank you. You should see where you can go back there.
Okay. Leave?
No. You want to go to?
Yeah, no, not leave.
Going to the breakout room.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, if you go to where it says breakout rooms at the bottom, should be 4 little squares.
Hold on. Here we go. I got it.
All right, thank you.
Got it.
Nathaniel Navy, did you have a chance to confer?
I didn't, Judge. I had to run in and make an announcement on another court real quick, but if you could put me back into a breakout room, Judge. Thank you.
Albert Flores?
Judge, we're back. I conferred with Mr. Villarreal. There's a couple of discovery things outstanding, and he is making a request for CPS records on this case. He's not sure if they exist or not. This is our first setting. I wonder if we can get a reset on this, Judge.
All right, just 1 second. Okay. Oh, no, we're good. Just give me a moment, man. Is your case is indicted, I'm assuming, correct?
On Mr. Patino, yes, Your Honor. Recently indicted.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Patino, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we'll be back on May 26th. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. And I'm going to see if I can grab a prosecutor right now for you, Mr. Young.
Your Honor, I'm also waiting for a prosecutor. I emailed them earlier.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there a prosecutor available for a plea on a motion to revoke?
Judge, I'm sorry, I just heard the end of that. What, I can probably jump on and figure it out.
All right, thank you. Mr. Young, what was the agreement on Samantha Richards?
She was going to plead true to number 41, Your Honor. And she has 109 days on this case, and she was going to be granted a judgment satisfied on a 1244.
All right, and how much time on the 1244 is being requested or that you all agreed to?
109 days, Your Honor.
All right, were you able to hear that, Mr.?
I can do it, Judge.
All right, thank you. Court is going to call 2016 CR 6211, State of Texas versus Samantha Richards. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
John Young for the defense.
And are you Miss Richards?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video due to the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None from the state.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Richards, I'm showing you what's entitled defendants consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am. I understand it and I signed it.
Thank you. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. And First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Samantha Richards who was placed on deferred adjudication in cause number 2016 CR 6211 for the offense of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on July 31st, 2017 for a period of 3 years and extended for 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Judge. Violated condition number 41 on or about the 25th day of December 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Samantha Richards, then and there failed to comply with the rules and regulations of the felony drug court by violating the 11 p.m. curfew in violation of condition number 41.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
We'd waive the remaining conditions, Judge.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 41 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. We have an agreed recommendation that we'd ask the court to enter an adjudication of guilt and revoke Mrs. Richards' probation. We'd ask that her be sentenced under 1244 to 109 days in the Bexar County Jail, of which I believe she has credit for that time.
Defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. We would ask the court to grant her the judgment satisfied on that.
Ms. Richards, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court then will sentence you, and as previously stated, the court is finding violation of condition number 41 true. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you under 1244 to 109 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served, and the court will find the judgment to be satisfied. Show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Richards, good luck to you. Stop using drugs.
Yes, thank you.
If you continue doing that,
Thank
you know what's going to end up happening? You're
Yes.
either going to end up overdosing, because people who prepare drugs, they're not FDA compliant. Rats and roaches running around, and whatever falls in the drugs falls in the drugs. They're just concerned about a sale. Or either you're going to continue to pick up cases, you're going to wake up one day and find out that you spent the remainder of your life either high or in custody. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and did that tattoo hurt? What is that a tattoo of?
It's my daughter's name.
Could you not remember her name?
I just wanted her name close to my heart.
All right, can we get a necklace for that and put her name on that and a photo inside of it? These are
Yes.
just recommendations from me. All right, good luck to you, Ms. Richards.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ryan,
Yes, ma'am.
there are two people in the courtroom who say they have a plea that they just need the paperwork on. There's a plea on, what is your client's name?
On Roscoe.
On Orozco?
Judge, I just worked with Joe. I was contacting Joe Ray about it. I'm working on the paperwork now.
All right, and then Natasha Torres?
I'm on the other Angel Roscoe case that has been set tentatively for trial. I can, hang around.
Okay, all right, just give us a moment. And is there anyone else who has paperwork that's being done?
No paperwork on it, but an announcement.
Okay, all right, what's your announcement?
Mr. Warren, after conferring with my client, in person going over stuff, I had some concerns about his competency. I talked to his mother, and after our conversations, I had even more concerns with what she told me. So I'm gonna need to file a motion.
And this is John.
John Warren, this is the third segment in this case.
All right, that needs to be filed today.
I can file it today, it's no problem.
All right, thank you.
It's just different talking to him in person and going over everything on the Zoom. When I sat down, went over this evidence with him, that's when I noticed he was having issues.
All right, are you gonna file it or do you need the court to do it?
No, I can file a motion today.
All right, thank you.
That's no problem. I'll
Okay.
file electronically when I get back to the office.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson, on John Michael Juarez, can we have a 30-day reset for competency eval? Or whatever time frame they're giving you. And also Miguel Hernandez, do you have paperwork or?
No, Judge, I needed to see a prosecutor. I've been running around the courthouse looking for prosecutors. On Araceli Robles at CTD.
All right, I'll send you to number 11.
Thank you, Judge.
And
Good morning, Judge. I just came out of it.
Carl Basil, your case is reset for May 23rd.
May 23rd?
Yes.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes, to the deputies, he can go back. do you see what page Mr. Morris is on? Oh, recall.
Yes, was recalled from yesterday.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Aguilera.
Good morning, Judge. I had a
Morning.
good visit. I had a good visit with Joe Ray Garcia concerning Jimmy Aguirre. And during that visit, I pointed out some discovery issues that he needs to take a real close look at and listen to. It is our first setting. We would love to continue to confer, but Joe Ray's promised that he will find the time and sometime in the near future or
All
look
right.
at the video. That's
Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Aguirre, please?
and I did see my client on the Zoom here, Judge.
See him on this. All right, we're going to come back on May 25th.
May 25th. Would that will also be Zoom, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
If it's not Zoom, Ms. Ferguson will place it in the email that she sends out.
Okay, good. Thank you. May we both be excused?
Yes. All right, Mr. Stohansky.
Yes, Your Honor. I need to speak with you in a breakout room for just a minute.
All right, are you able to put that in the chat box? Because I am Zooming from inside the courtroom and I'm not able to go to a breakout room when I'm in the courtroom. Sure. Kathy Compton.
Judge, I'm here also with Mr. Gebbia. We both represent Sherry Cooper. We have conferred with the state. She has been in custody now after not appearing in court. She had some difficulty with her car was stolen and her personal effects, including a laptop and her phone, were also stolen. She did turn herself in. She is currently pregnant and expecting to deliver within the next few days. I discussed with Marcus about getting her released. We were talking about reinstating her bonds. I don't think that's a possibility. So Bobby and I would request that the judge, you allow her a PR bond on each of her cases.
Okay, I'm not going to do a PR bond.
Would you consider giving her bonds on her cases, but low enough to where she could feasibly have an opportunity to make those bonds, Judge?
I mean, the issue is she's remanded without bond, or her bond was removed because she didn't appear. Is that correct?
It is, Judge.
I mean, if you all want to, if the state is not in agreement and you want to set it for a hearing, the court will hear.
They were in agreement.
Okay, what is their agreement?
That they had agreed to, that we had talked about, we were assuming that we could just reinstate her bonds. So I don't think that when I spoke with Marcus, and he can certainly weigh in, and I don't want to speak for him, but my understanding was that he didn't have a problem with her being released, whether, and I don't think it would make a difference to him whether the bond is reinstated or the court would grant her a PR bond. I mean, she's indigent. I am court appointed. I know that.
Also court appointed.
So have you all agreed on a bond with the state or no?
They've agreed to reinstate the bond. But the issue is, I'm not 100% sure we can reinstate the bond after 2 months. So we can continue to confer to agree on a bond amount that we could recommend to the court if Marcus is available. Or we could go back to Joe Ray and we could come to an agreement and we could send you that information via email.
All right, thank you. So let's do that. Now, where are we on her actual cases?
We need trial settings. I think both of us do, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Ms. Cooper? All right, we're going to come back on May 24th. And that'll be at 9 a.m. Ms. Cooper, if you're in custody, you'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have, civilian clothing that you have at the jail. If it's not something that you want to appear before a jury in, just let your attorneys know, and they'll make arrangements to have you dressed in different attire. Attorneys, if there's an issue with that, just let the court know and we'll see if we can expedite that.
Thank you, Judge. Can we rejoin our breakout room together to have a short discussion with Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Cooper, if you'll go back to breakout room number 4. Do you see how to do that or no? All right, to the persons in the courtroom, we're waiting for your paperwork. And I'm sorry, what is her name? No, not Taurus. The other attorney.
McDonald.
Thank you. Oh, McDonald, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You know, I see everybody on Zoom every day, and I know your names when I see you on Zoom, but in person, you look completely different. So what is happening with your case?
Judge, we were recalled from yesterday. We're in the trial lineup.
Okay, and so is that going to, is he still requesting a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what is your name, sir? All right, Mr. Contreras Joseph, if you come up, please. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Joseph Contreras. Yes, Rebecca. All right, we'll see you all back on May 24th.
Thank you, Judge. Do we need to assign a reset date, Judge, or are we excused?
He's in custody, so we'll have you back at May 24th.
Thank you, Judge.
Rusty Geyer. I can't hear you, Mr. Geyer. There's something wrong with your audio. Christopher Lewis.
Yes.
Yes,
Judge?
what is happening with King?
Your Honor, we've discussed the case in detail. There's been a order sent over for you to sign with regard to protective order for the CPS records that Michelle sent over. And at this time, we're going to just.
The court has signed those.
Okay, excellent. So I think that's, once I see the CPS record, I think we can kind of finalize what we want to do as far as a potential plea.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for Jeffrey Kesey, please? All right, we're going to come back on May 25th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson will let you know if that will be by Zoom or in person. Mr. Kesey, you need to be back on May 25th. Do you understand? Yes. All right, you're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge Boyd?
Yes, sure.
Judge, I have a motion and I have an agreed order with Mr. Villarreal.
Okay.
It's just to modify a bond condition, please.
And Brenda, do you see Mr. Kesey on the docket?
Page 16.
Thank you. All right, the Diamond Danzy, is that the complainant in the case?
That's the defendant.
Oh,
So and her child is not the complainant in the case.
okay, so Riley is not the complainant.
That is her daughter, but not the complainant in the case, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. May we be excused?
Yes,
And
have
is
a good
my
one.
client excused for the day?
Yes, tell your husband I said hi.
I will. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. And Matt Stohansky, I'm still awaiting your chat in the chat box.
I sent it, Judge. I sent it. It doesn't say what time, but right after we talked, I put one in the chat box.
But did you send it to me?
Oh, sent it to you directly.
Yes,
I apologize.
because I don't have it. It's not showing up. All right, Nathaniel Navy.
Judge, I'm sorry. My phone was about to die, so I went to the courtroom, didn't see anybody to confer with, but now I'm finally charging the phone. If I could be placed back into a breakout room.
All right, I'll see you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you.
Judge, I think I have audio now.
Yes, what is happening with your client?
Okay, I have conferred with Mr. Garcia. I've got an offer and I need time to talk to him about, it would be maybe, I'm sure he's going to up the offer if I file a motion to suppress, but I think it's, I would need a hearing on a motion to suppress. Joe Guerra.
All right, this motion to suppress, is it dispositive or no?
It would be dispositive.
All right, are you going to file a motion waiving jury trial?
I will do that, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Ferguson, on Guerra, can you set this for a motion to suppress? And you can, if you could set it, and is 45 days enough time for the state? All right, Ms. Ferguson, give me a 45-day reset. Is that a good time for you, Mr. Geyer, 45 days?
45 days will be sufficient.
And where is your client?
Your Honor, I apologize. I have not spoken with him. I'm in Del Rio in the attorney lounge, and I do not have his file. we can report this afternoon.
All right, have your client report. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna recall this for tomorrow so that your
Fine,
client.
Judge.
Okay,
That'll probably be best. Give me time to return.
all right, we'll recall it for tomorrow and your client is to appear, but we're gonna give you a reset for a motion to suppress.
Fine.
But your client needs to appear.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're excused.
Is Norma going to send me a form for when that will be heard?
She'll send you a link for your client and you to appear tomorrow, and then you'll get a date for the motion to suppress once your client appears.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judge, for excuse me.
You're welcome. Yes.
Judge, I conferred with Ryan on the Araceli
Robles.
Robles, I'm sorry. We have an offer. I believe she's going to accept it, but she was wanting to know if she could get a reset to speak with some of her family members and take care of some things she needed to do before she did her plea.
All right, if you could have her come up, please. All right, Ms. Robles, my understanding is that you wish to accept the state's plea offer, but you want to do it at a different date. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to recall it next week, okay? So if there's anyone she needs to speak to. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have Ms. Robles set next week for a plea? All right. Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. So actually, it's going to be back on May 9th.
Okay, Judge.
So if you'll go to the back and get a reset form for your client.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, may I approach?
Who's asking to approach?
Monica Corrala on Joshua Hamilton. If I can be placed in a breakout room with Mr. Gromer, please. I tried sending a chat, but he hasn't responded.
Okay, just give us a moment.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson. I'm gonna take my break because I have that meeting at 12 that I need to get to. So I'm gonna stop live stream and everyone can continue to confer and we will start back up if there's